Go live. There we go. All right. Yeah. You've been listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast. We'll see you later. All right. Now, Sheer, hello. How are you doing today?
Splendid, Michael.
All right, we have got a lot to get to. We have got a lot to get to on this show today. We are going to talk about how does Arizona football bring the fans back in? How do you? We're going to go unit by unit, coach by coach. We are also going to talk Elijah Arenas. He is reclassified, to put it mildly. He is a must-get recruit for Arizona. But first, Sheer, how you doing today?
Super. The
yes,
sun
exactly.
came up. Arizona football's on the upswing today, baby.
All right, now there's been some comments in here already. No. You cannot hire Chuck Cecil as the head coach. Ricky Hunley, no, and no Joe Salavea. Very much appreciate their services. You cannot hire them though. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about Arizona football fan support here. We're going to kind of go all over the place here, and we're going to preview signing day a little bit. I will be there as well. Also, hit the like. I suck at that. But yes, Kevin WN, Tuesday, PHNX Wildcats podcast. You're going to love every minute of it. Oh, Kevin, remind me later in the show. I'm going to tell you how Sheer and I know each other. Kevin is a good follower. He wants to know. Sheer's a scumbag, and this will come out even more after this. But let's talk a little bit though about fan engagement, and let's go with the Brennan quote first. Let Coach speak for himself, and then we are going to discuss.
That's a fair question. I think it's a little bit of a leap of faith, but they have been around us. They have been around our coaches. They know our level of ability to teach and coach. I do feel like we have a great relationship with these players. I do think that is strong. I think the culture is healthy, and I think if you want to be a part of building something, great. If you want to go try and jump on a bandwagon somewhere else, if that's who you are, go, right? But, I'm confident that, with everything that's going on within the program, the coaches, the players, where we're at with our administration, the rev share, like all those things, because those are all part of the conversation right now, right? I'm confident with where we're at. I think we'll be in a good spot with retention.
Okay. Now listen, he's saying that it's this to me was fascinating because I don't quite understand basically daring a kid. If you want to go to a better place where you can get more money, go. That to me does not make a lot of sense, though. Sheer interesting.
There's also the other side of it, which is like if you're a bandwagon and you want to leave, we'll take you because that's who we actually need. So if you're from other schools and you want to do that, feel free to come there.
Yeah, exactly. We got open playing time here. Settle up, partner. All right. This is very, very simple for me. There is nothing he can do now except win. Nothing. I know that there might be a pitch to get him out in the community more. That's going to mean absolutely nothing. At this stage in the game, you're going to have to win. And nobody's showing up to the games. To me, it's actually very simple. Nobody's showing up to the games early on. There will be some people, I get it. But overall, you're going to have to win football games. If you don't win football games, then people aren't going to enjoy every minute of it. That's for sure.
I give him credit because he said that too. He said there's going to be a section of the fan base where nothing I can do over the next 9 or 10 months is going to convince them of anything. We have to take the field. He is 100% right. There is nothing he can say, or short of landing a top 20 player in the country, like a T-Mac, which they're not going to do. There is nothing he can say or do to change fans' opinions short of going on the field and looking better in the first. And it's not even going to be the first game. It's going to be like the first 3 games.
Yes, exactly. That's where it's going to be interesting for it. Erika Day, sure, hop on the last 10 minutes if you'd like.
Come on, Eric.
Yeah, exactly. Erika Day, you don't have to ask us. But yes, now the next thing is we need to talk a little bit about the staff and the retention, and again where everything is going from here. We are going to essentially go position by position and basically break down the coaches and everything. But first, if we could also get that tweet from Kevin L. Thomas, this is one that I think is going to come back to bite him. Massive disappointment has to fuel us. Stick with us. You're going to love every minute of it. And again, this is the last time I'm going to put that up there, but I still think that it deserves its own little remark. The problem with all of that is it's very, very simple. It's that, Coach, that quote's going to be used for you basically every single year or every single game. And my other question is, who is advising him? Because when he goes up in the pressers, and I mean this seriously, I'm not putting him down. When he goes into the pressers, I have not talked with one media member off record that thinks that any of his pressers do any good whatsoever. Now, he came on the show and he's a likable guy, but he never comes off as having a master plan of anything. Sheer, does he need coaching? Does he not? What exactly is going on here? Because these are not good quotes, and they're game after game, week after week.
That quote is so wild, dude. Like, I still can't get over that quote. And it's going to be used against him anytime they don't look good next year. Fans and opponents are going to be like, well, I hope you're having fun, right? Like,
right.
It's a situation where I just think he goes up there and
but how is let me stop you here.
It's Ted Lasso.
Right, but let me stop you. How is there somebody not saying, coach, we need to at least show some kind of vision, show some kind of plan. Every time he goes up there, it's something different, and it's like it reeks of nothing. And
being real, Mike. He's being real. You can't change the realness.
Yes, exactly. Clint Westwood says, Mike, are you and David Kelly? I don't know what that means. Okay.
Are you David Kelly?
I know I am not David Kelly, believe it or not. I am not. My father is not in the NFL Hall of Fame. Hard to believe. All right, now we're going to
the Carving Hall of Fame, though.
What's that?
He's in the Carving Hall of Fame, though.
Yes, no, exactly. Really, yeah, he is in the Carving Hall of Fame.
Serious, it was a compliment.
Yeah, no, it was. Okay. Now we're going to go position by position here, and we're going to talk about what exactly needs to be done here, because there's I think we have a lot of question marks here. We need to go with the quarterback first. Now, I've been very, very clear about this, and we're going to talk about coaching. We're going to talk about the quarterback. I've been very clear on this. Noah did not play well this year. That's apparent. I also have a very, very difficult time believing that Noah wasn't kind of broken, to be honest with you, by what happened this year. At the end, he was missing throws that he makes in his sleep. I think that at some point he was starting to hear footsteps where there weren't footsteps. This did not look at all like Noah Fifita, somebody, and this is a player too that needs to get the ball out early. He's very, very cerebral, and sheer. It was just a massive step back. And honestly, when I look at it, I'm going to put a lot of this on. I don't think that he had a QB coach really that probably should have been a QB coach. You had two OCs that one had never done it really before at this level, and the other guy hadn't done it in 20 years, and they were up in the press box. It kind of felt like he was just playing himself.
Yeah, it goes back to the no identity. I don't think Noah, and obviously Noah would have to speak to it, but the vibe, let's just say the vibe it gave off was, I don't think Noah knew why he was doing what the coaches were asking him to do. Like, right. There was no flow to it. Like, 3rd and 19, you're throwing tunnel screens every third down. And I realize the offensive line isn't great, but there's no identity. And like Brent came on the show and he was like, yeah, if I could do it all over again, I'd be more vertical. But then there's no vertical aspect to the offense whatsoever in the last few weeks. And I'm sure he would say the O-line. And, in a way, I wonder, Mike, and this is going to sound really stupid, but try to grasp.
No, never it is.
Try to grasp what I'm saying. I think it became an issue in the last few games where the other wide receivers weren't stepping up and Noah didn't trust them. And in a way, I wonder if T-Mac leaving helps the offense a little bit. Not in the sense where it's going to be, T-Mac's ridiculous, but Noah career-wise, where look, they don't have a choice. Like, they have to get better receivers now. You know what I mean? Like, because it was pretty obvious in the ASU game, for instance, that he was just looking off other receivers. And if throwing or not, he was throwing it to him.
I guess my concern, though, is that I think at some point, and again, Jeremiah Patterson was a big whiff for us, but at the end of the day, we will be back in on the Jeremiah Patterson bandwagon next season.
Win for us?
Yes,
a win for us.
Yeah, he was. That's right, touchdown machine. But I think the problem, though, is that there's a lot. He wasn't able to get anybody, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later on. I understand the portal window and getting in the late one, but Jed's still got some really good players there. The problem, though, too, especially on the offensive side, is that you got nothing. You literally got nothing. You got no players. Listen, Montana, great kid. I appreciate what he did there, but at the same time, Jeremiah Patterson did nothing. You got nothing on the offensive line. As a matter of fact, you got less than nothing. That, to me, is still what I'm going to come back to. You didn't add anything, Sheer.
The problem is that there were just no hits.
None.
Right? You don't have to hit on everyone, but there were no, hits.
There was no difference makers, none.
Right.
I mean, outside of a San Jose State kids.
That's what I mean. Like, you added dudes, which is awesome, right? You needed to add guys, and some of them are contributors. Like in Owen Goss was a contributor. You know, he was good at times, but there was no Taylor Upshaw.
No, there was no.
Ended in May.
There was
right?
no CO.
Right.
There was no DJ Williams, somebody that, I mean, Jed knew what he was doing. That's why I went back and I looked at it, and there were quite a few guys that Jed got in that last portal. Sorry for keeping you awake.
Oh, it's fine.
Yes, but there were quite a few guys that Jed got in the portal at the end that were good. They were difference makers. So yes, I understand, but at the same time, I also don't really give that as an excuse where it's like, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that.
You can miss on guys. Everyone misses on guys. I'm not going to criticize the coaching staff for missing on a few guys. The problem is you better hit on.
Right.
If you take 20 guys, I expect you to like really hit on 5. Let's just say 5 are like media contributors. They didn't have that.
They didn't really have it. And some of the all right, now I'll ask this. I was asked. I'm fine with David Kelly. I think personally he's a good guy. I think he's got weird takes like playing ineligible players, but but overall not a bad dude. All right, now when it comes to the court, you've got to revamp that entire thing, and I think we're in agreement on that. You need a new quarterback coach. You need a new offensive coordinator. Everybody's throwing out names like Brennan Marion. What would you go for, Sheer, if we're talking about the OC?
Identity, right? Like, look.
Oh, yeah, sure. Starting from day one. What is your identity? I don't know.
Yeah, Marion makes like $350. There is no reason why Arizona can't say, here's $700. You have complete control of the offense. I won't even step in your way. Right? Like, that's my first call. I don't think he'll take. I don't know if he would take it, but that's my first call. Double his salary and bring him on board. After that, let's just say he assumes no. It's just got to be a guy, like I said yesterday, like, I don't even care what your identity is. But if I say, hey, coach, what's your identity? They better not say, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Right? Yes. Like, they got to be like, we are a power run team. We are a run and shoot. We are an air raid. I don't care if he goes, we are 50-50 balanced, where we use the run to open up the pass. Something, anything where I could say, oh, okay. Because I could watch every game this season again.
There was none. There was none. And it went from game to game too, where like games where you'd have like 8 delayed runs. Then you would have plays. Then you would have ones where it's like, okay, we're only going to throw to T-Mac. Then you have one game where you get Key and Burnett involved, and then you kind of go away from that at that point. Basically, there was just nothing there. But I also feel for Noah because I don't believe Noah was really coached at all. I don't. And again, Lyle Malvo. Sure, he's a great guy. Matt Adkins, totally fine with him going back to the tight end role, but you need a real OC in there. And no matter what, you need a real OC. And that was somebody like I hate saying it, but Jed did a lot of really good things here. And we've said that from day one. I knew exactly what Jed Fish's identity was. And it's easier to get behind somebody if I know what you were trying to do. I still don't know what Brent Brennan is trying to do.
My preference in an OC, Mike, would be one that works with quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'd call you old-fashioned, but you want somebody involved with the quarterback, yeah.
Well, it's like if you have a quarterback coach, it's fine. Lyle Moval's a nice guy. He's not a quarterback coach. He was an analyst, and I'm sure he works with them in Polynesian, and Noah likes him. I'm talking about like these old-school coordinators, or not even old school, but like Brennan Marion. I know I'm contradicting myself. He's a wide receiver coach, right?
Yeah.
So you're kind of...
But I need dynamic. He's dynamic. Right. I'm fine with that. I need dynamic.
Right. And so, like, I can live with that. But if not, like, I'm looking at a guy that has worked with quarterbacks. Like, I want a quarterback coach. I was looking at offensive coordinators with history with Brent Brennan.
And who isn't signing up for this job? Let's be honest.
That's why you got to look at like guys that.
Hey, Torrin Bentlage, the great Torrin Bentlage, great follow on Twitter, Big Game Wildcat. How about Dirk Cooter?
He's killing it right now, dude.
I know. I'm bringing Dirk. That's what I'm saying.
You know who has, let's see if you remember this. This is a Nebraska name, Mike. He's got a Nebraska history.
Marcus Satterfield?
No. He was at Nebraska for 3 years. He has a connection to Brent Brennan. He teaches quarterbacks.
As an elementary school?
No.
Or a Pop Warner coach? Who?
No.
Who?
Danny Langsdorff, baby.
Oh, I'm good on him. He's from the Mike Riley era.
He was at Oregon State with Brent Brennan.
Yeah, no, I'm good on
Another
him.
guy.
No.
You want another name? I'm on fire.
No, I just want Dirk Cooter.
Marcus Tuiasosopo was the OC of Rice. They just got fired. Quarterback coach.
All right. Well, either way, I need somebody that's actually coached this position.
I will say this: we will lose, and I like the guy. You like the guy. We will lose our mind if Brent Brennan just says Matt Atkins is our OC.
Yes, that at that point, then I have well, I already obviously have major concerns if anybody's watched this show for 3 minutes. But if you promote Matt Atkins, that is, and again, we like Matt Atkins. He might have a real future in the industry. He could easily have a real future in the industry. But at the same time, you cannot promote somebody that is calling the plays for, let's be honest here, maybe the most dreadful offense outside of Houston in the Big 12. Is that fair?
Well, Utah.
But Utah also, they didn't have, right? I mean,
but they didn't have their, I'll say this, like, I think one of the criticisms I have as Brent Brennan is there's no separation between coach and friends. And in the sense where I think he's very blinded. I don't expect any San Jose State coach to get fired.
Which is going to be a problem. We're going to talk about that in just a second.
Yeah.
But first. I've got an idea for Arizona football this year, Sheer. Get your head out of your phone and get your head out of their places. I've got an idea for Arizona football this year. I think we need to revamp the entire stadium and field and just play on Empire flooring.
Yes. A lot of guys would get hurt, but we'll figure it out later.
A lot of guys would get hurt, but at the same time, the quickness would improve, the release off the ball. I want Empire flooring to be over Arizona Stadium. I don't know anybody else that would disagree with this. Do you?
Not at all. I mean, it's a good poll question, but anyone that votes no, I would.
Kate Harrop, get rid of the turf and bring in Empire flooring. I totally agree with that. We are playing on Empire flooring. But either way, schedule a free and home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use promo code PHNX. Restrictions apply. See EmpireToday.com/PHNX for details. You need to play on Empire flooring field. Also, Sanderson Ford. What would look better on the field? If you had a if you had an Empire flooring field at Arizona Stadium and you had a Sanderson Ford that was basically backed up on the offensive line there, what would you say to that?
Here's what you do. You knock down the stadium. You lay out Empire flooring. Instead of walls, you have Sanderson Fords.
And you get rid of the curtains and you bring in a Sanderson Ford. That would be what I would do. You put it on the field at Arizona Stadium, but also get a new 2024 F-150 with 3.9% APR financing for 66 months, plus up to $4,000 cash back. Similar savings on over 900 new and pre-owned vehicles on the lot. Plus, get an additional $1,000 Amazon gift card on Bronco, Mach-E, Lighting, F-150, and Expedition on Black Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Check it out. Okay, now let's get the what is Sanderson? Come on, man. What is Sanderson? What is
happiness?
What is happiness? Yeah, exactly.
What is girth?
Right, exactly. No, I do not get that at all. What is that? Okay, now let's talk about Alonzo Mosley. Alonzo Mosley is a character from Midnight Run. Yeah, no. He is his name's Special Agent Alonzo Mosley. I was watching it last night.
I just sent you, by the way.
No, what'd you send me?
Del Taco tweeted at me.
What did they tweet at you? Del Taco tweeted at you?
Yep, I just sent it to our chat.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Oh my, this is so good. Hope you enjoyed. Oh, yeah, and they still won't sponsor me, these people. Whatever. All right, now, either way, back to Alonzo Carter. I'm fine with Alonzo Carter. I think as long as Alonzo Carter's here, we'll have good running backs. Listen, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, obviously, but he would have been good. Cauley Conley, okay. Kedrick Risano, very much like him. You got good running backs coming in. I'm fine with Alonzo Carter. I got no problem with Alonzo Carter.
Yeah, I'm cool with Alonzo Carter. When you talk to Alonzo Carter, there's a very clear plan for what he wants to do and what he wants to land. Yeah, I am perfectly fine with him.
All right, now we're going to get to somebody we disagree with here. You believe that Josh Oglesby should be back on the offensive line, and you also believe that he should be extended. Coach
That's
in
not what I
waiting.
said at all either.
Coach in waiting. Coach in waiting. But I don't know, man. Like I said, the offensive line was the most disappointing part of the entire team. I don't know how you can say something like Joe Somalo, who obviously was not good. But he was dealing with a lot less talent than the Josh Oglesby was, and you want Somalo gone, but you want Oglesby back. I'm confused by that one.
No, so my thing with Oglesby is very simple. I don't care if he comes back or not.
You said you would come. You said you'd come back.
If I was Brent Brennan, you can't complain about the offensive line injuries all season and fire Josh Oglesby. You can't do it. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Okay. So then, but if you're dealing with but here's the other thing. Jonah played pretty much all season. Wendell Moy played pretty much all season. I know they missed some time. I get it. Josh Baker played.
Oh, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I'm just saying if Brent Brennan is going in front of the media and lamenting the injuries on the offensive line, you can't fire Josh Oglesby. And he's not. I'll just tell everyone right now. He's not firing Josh Oglesby. He loves him.
Right. Okay. So Josh Oglesby is back. Like I said, if we're revamping the staff, that to me was a problem. You also do not like the coaching that Josh Oglesby did this year, Sheer. You've been very clear on this.
Yeah, I don't like that they changed the scheme in the technique. That never made any sense to me. You're talking about how you're going to carry over a lot of the offense, and you literally change everything.
And you brought back basically nothing. All right, Bobby Wade. This one's a difficult one because T-Mac's obviously awesome, but at the same time, nobody else developed. Absolutely, there was nothing else there whatsoever. I know every single coaching staff like Montana Lamonius Craig, but wasn't good. Our guy Jeremiah Patterson, the Ryan Mitchell put it best. Wide receivers were kind of awful outside of T-Mac.
I'm willing to give Bobby another year because I'm not sure how good the group is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If they're going to upgrade in the portal, they're going to bring in Gio Richardson. Let him upgrade the talent. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, let's see. I'm willing to give him one more year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Irish Mike, that's very true. Not true. Chris Hunter did develop.
Right.
Yes.
Like, they're gonna have
I do
Hunter,
apologize.
Right. Hunter's going to be, hopefully. I mean, I think Hunter's going to get paid by someone. That makes me nervous.
You got Patterson back, baby.
Yeah. You're bringing in 3 to 4 portal receivers is their plan, from what I've heard. Let's see what happens.
But the problem at Brad Rich, so please explain how DR didn't and doesn't have the money to fire in staff plus hire a new coach, but now Brennan is her pick and she goes down if he goes down. Huh? No, I'm just saying that she had the money to be able to get a new coach if she wanted to. Maybe not a super high profile coach, and she's decided to go in on Brennan. I mean, that's
and I'll go one step further, Mike. So they meet. She says you need to fire coordinators and coaches. He comes back, he fires 2.
Right.
Is that she got played? She either got played or she's lying.
Right. Well, it's one of the two. But yeah, I mean, it's that's not a. Yeah, it is what it is. So Bobby Wade, whatever. But what does worry me though about the wide receiver unit is it's actually very simple though. Is that you've lost your best wide receivers outside of Isaiah Mizell. You're probably going to lose Gio Richardson. Not going to lose Gio Richardson.
I'll break some news. You want me to break some news on the show?
Yeah, let's hear it. Yeah, break it. News.
Vanderbilt 24/7 guy contacted me. He said they dropped Gio, that he took too long.
Oh, well, all right. Well, Arizona's getting...
Unless there's another school I don't know of, Gio should be signing with Arizona.
All right. Well, then Arizona's getting kids at Vanderbilt dropped, I guess. Good.
Well, it's weird because they love them, but their OC Beck wants like a gadget, like a 5'8" running back, wide receiver type of dude, and that's not Gio. Their board is not happy with that situation.
Yeah, that's odd because I like Gio. All right, I'll take it. But you got Gio and you got Mizell. The problem is you lost Shelton and you lost Tankara.
Right. So it depends on like the 3 dudes that you get. They're going to get 3 or 4 out of the portal. I know a few that they've already reached out to.
Right.
I can give you names if you'd like, Mike. But,
yeah, sure.
I know that a few that they've reached out to. Let me I have it written down. I write them down. Dean Patterson from Florida International. Their coach just got fired. He's pretty good. They released there's another dude, Eric Rivers, that they reached out to, who's I think everyone's going to want.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, they're if they land a guy like that, and we'll see.
See, I don't know. T Burns 826 saying I blame Jed for more of the wide receiver issue. His staff didn't develop anyone.
He's not wrong. Kevin Green went to Washington, and I know he was hurt, but he didn't really do anything there. Devin Hyatt never did anything. He's not wrong because Jed only played 3 guys.
Yeah, but those 3 guys were always awesome outside of Montana Lamonius Craig.
I get it, but what I'm saying is basically when you think about it, beyond T-Mac and I guess Montana, they had a rookie wide receiver room.
Yeah, but the problem, though, too, is do you believe for a second that this would have been what the wide receiver room looked like if Jed had come back?
No, because I know who they would have landed. But
yeah, exactly. That's my point, though. Is you can't say that, though, because you and I both know for a fact that it would have been a significantly better wide receiver room if Jed Fish was back.
Yeah, but I'm saying in terms of that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about in terms of pure development, the guys that were on the roster. I'll buy that argument. That they didn't forget what the room looks like. The guys that Arizona, because I think recruiting and developing are 2 different things in terms of what
I'll put it to you like this: we never lacked for wide receivers under Jed Fish.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I don't really know what else to say on that. I will disagree with both of you. But he also, like I said, at the end of the day, though, we both don't think for a second that this wide receiver room wouldn't have been much better if Jed Fish had stuck around. So that's
yeah.
Right. And all right. And Dorian Singer had his best season under Jed Fish.
Yes. Well, he had his best season under Jaden DeLora, baby.
Right. I mean that's very, very true. Yes. Let's see here. AJ Jones. I like AJ. I would have put AJ Jones out there. I don't know that he's better than Hunter. I like Hunter a lot. I think you're
he's
right.
Not better than Hunter.
Yeah, but there's other dudes I would have had him out there before.
We assume he's gone, right?
I would certainly assume so. I don't know why he would come back, but we'll miss that too.
We like Tony 100% right.
Right.
We did not correctly estimate how big of a loss Jacob Cowing was, and it's not necessarily a big loss because he's good in his own right. He took pressure off of T-Mac and everyone else.
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, you didn't add anybody. And that's what I'm going to keep coming back to, too, is that I understand you got in here late, but you didn't add anybody. Basically, this entire roster was just what Jed Fish left you. You didn't bring in anything.
Yeah.
And that to me is not, and we love Tony Jones, the great Tony Jones. You know what else we love, Jason Shear?
Oh, what?
Circle K, baby. Circle K, get in here now. Woo-hoo-hoo. Circle K. All right, here's a great deal with Circle K. The Circle K on 6th Street. Very, very good stuff. Circle K. And with Circle K, Sheer, when was the last time you went to Circle K?
Yesterday. I got gas.
Yes, exactly. Now, check out Circle K. You will thank me later on that. You will thank me later on this one. Circle K. The great thing about Circle K is this, too. You can be part of the Inner Circle, like our good friend Kevin L. Thomas. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. And chicken and pickle. Now, you might think of chicken and pickle, you think Tommy Lloyd. You know what you also think? You also think of that jerk, Jacob Franklin. Mm-hmm. Jacob Franklin invited us to chicken and pickle because everybody was going to be there. And guess what? He did not let us go. He said he pulled the chair out from under us here. This is true.
Typical Jacob. I'll just leave it at that. We knew what he was, and then we just got it confirmed.
Yeah, and then on top of that, too, he probably came in there with his Pat Tillman jersey on and, all of that stuff. But we know exactly how that works. Either way, head to chickenandpickle.com and see all the fun that you can have at their Glendale location. Chicken and pickle, my friend. Maybe you'll see Tommy Lloyd up there. He likes a little bit of pickleball. All right, now, let's get to the defensive line. This, to me, is a coach that it is going to be back, but shouldn't be back. There's been terrible, terrible missy vowels from this coach. I don't know how you bring back Joe Smallot.
I don't like calling for the firing of coaches, as you know. But
they're getting paid a lot of. Here's what I disagree with that, man.
Smallot is the one coach that I've never, including from players that play for him, have heard anything good about him as a coach.
Yes. So here's the theory, and you could say, and we're going to talk about this a little bit. And Lev put out a tweet yesterday that was mainly good, but it left out, I think, some context about all the players that you left. If you run off players, and by saying run off players, players that should clearly be starting, and they're not, I'm going to put that on you. Again, this whole thing was this whole thing was fun all season. But again, Big Bill Norton was literally on the line for Texas in their biggest line in the season against Texas A&M, getting a goal line stop. And he played all season for Texas. Now, you could say, well, he didn't play, 80% of the snaps. He played all season. If you play at Texas, then maybe the best team in the country, you should be starting at Arizona, and you are better than Chuba May. Sheer, that was an L for you.
Yeah, and that was an out. And look, I'll be blunt. I listened and I believe the staff, and they're the ones that were telling people that Chuba was going to be just as good, if not better, than BBN.
Yep. And by the way, AJW, BBN did not screw us. We screwed BBN. BBN came back. And when you have Chuba, who is basically splitting snaps with him and might have actually been the starter because the staff liked Chuba more, that is a gross misevaluation. That's all I can say. You don't get to say that you lost depth on the D-line when you run some of them off. The other one, too, is obviously Deuce Davis. Deuce Davis is a Big Ten Player of the Week 2 weeks ago. There was nobody like Deuce Davis on the defensive line at Arizona, and you don't get to say, well, you know what, you're not big enough here. Maybe we'll put you at a different position. Here, go try linebacker. And when you leave, say, oh, you're not going to be good enough in the Big Ten. That is a problem, Sheer. So again, Sumalo did nothing for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
I mean, if you want to point to anyone, it would be Chase Kennedy. I'll give him Chase Kennedy because Chase Kennedy was decent. But when you look across that line, Ty didn't get better. Darton wasn't good. Chuba wasn't good. I guess Sterling Lane got a little better. Bear Anderson was hurt. Like, I'm trying to think if there any improvement at all.
No, there wasn't.
And there wasn't.
Yeah.
And yes, there's a good chance Ty's one of those ones that there's a very good chance he's leaving. I don't want to say it's definite yet, but he was pretty much 1 foot out the door last year.
Would Kugaika have started for Arizona this year?
I don't know. And that's not an insult to Kugaika, Mike, but we're talking about the same staff that said Bill Norton wouldn't have started. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. So, yeah, that is more than fair. I would not have Sumalo back. By the way, too, I know that people, I'm not necessarily, listen, these guys are being paid a lot of money. So I don't really have a problem with saying, you know what, I'd like somebody else here.
Yeah, it's me. It's a me thing. I don't like calling for people to get fired, but that's a me thing. It's
yeah. All right. Yes. Now, let's see here.
Broad.
What's that?
I'm a classy broad.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, no, you are exactly. Okay. Now, let's talk about the linebackers, Danny Gonzalez. This one is interesting to me. Everybody likes Danny Gonzalez. The problem was Jacob Manu took a massive step back this year. I don't think there's any way about it. He looked kind of out of shape, to be honest with you. Tay Brown emerged well, but I don't know that you could really look at this and say that linebacking unit was well coached.
And the other issue is special teams were flat out bad.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing to me, ignoring the linebackers for a minute. The Michael Wooten play the other day, or whoever it was coming on the field in the middle of the kick, the holding issues were ridiculous, and they kept sticking with Salgado Medina, which means they didn't have another guy who could just hold the football.
Right.
Like the punting, putting Chuba.
Chuba, I was going to say, yeah, the Kansas State game.
On the punt team might be one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Yes.
The special teams were absolutely horrific, to the sense where even if you wanted to keep Danny Gonzalez, you got to hire a special teams coach. It can't be him.
Right. Yes, exactly. Now, this Fit for Expedition is right. You don't like calling for the firing of people, but you fired me.
Well, no, I don't call for the firing. I just do it.
You just actually do it.
Yeah,
yes, Skier, didn't you fire? Yes, you did. Skier, our audience is our audience is on to you. Yes, yeah. Chuba did show hard on that play, though. I give you credit. I give him credit. I mean, he's a nice guy and everything.
Everyone is watching that play. Even the announcer's like, why is this dude on punt team? Like,
yes, exactly. Do you think Chuba would have started at Texas?
Look, you blame me, and I get it. I'll take the L, but you know where I got that information.
Yeah, but again, I was late. Yeah, I was laid
Yeah,
off. So
Ron, you tell me. So like the linebackers, that's another thing. We talk about development. Where was Jared Small all season?
oh, by the way, Kevin WN said he looked like a runaway Sanderson. Yes. Wop, 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 wop.
Like, where was Jared Small all season? Justin Flo, I won't blame this staff. Justin Flo is
Which is not good enough.
Jared Small, where was he all this season? Kamu, where was he this season? Leviticus Sua, where was he this season? Like, no one developed in that room. No one developed.
Right, exactly. And that's the problem.
On the entire coaching staff.
Yeah.
How many players developed?
I was asked this question by Cowboy Hat on Twitter. I believe that's the name. He said, which players actually got better this year? And the only one I could think of was Genesis Smith and Chris Hunter.
Did Genesis get better? Or did he just play?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
But like Takario did not get better. Manu wasn't better. None of the D linemen were better.
Right.
None of the corners, safeties were better.
Kevin, hey, let's see here. Let's see here. Brad Rich, the great Brad Rich. Some say Mike Luke started lifting weights after Shear fired him, sort of like how the strength and conditioning staff will start lifting weights when DRF fires them. Now let's talk about the secondary. Secondary took a big. I mean, there was obviously a lot of injuries there, so I will factor that one in, like a factor meal kit. But. Wop. Vancouver Cat very upset by the wop. By the way, it's not walk. It's wop. Get it straight. But Takeover, listen, here's what I'm going to say about Takeover. I give Takeover a lot of credit for coming back, but somebody on the staff told me from day one, the people that thought he was better than Price are insane. Takeover can do some really good stuff for sure, but he is.
I have another hot take for you. I don't think Takeover should go pro. I think he should come back. And if he doesn't want to come back, cool. Go to another school. Do not go to the NFL. He is not ready in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and the problem is too is that I think he's going to go to the combine, and yes, he'll come out at 6'4", but he's also going to run a 4.7.
They're gonna make him a safety.
Yeah. So again, it was a big step back for Takeover. You know what I also didn't like necessarily about Takeover this season is that Takeover. Let's see here. Price is much. I
don't think Price that good either, but he is.
He's definitely he's better than Takeover.
The problem with Takeover is I've never seen a corner with no ball skills whatsoever.
Right.
I mean, none.
You know what I didn't understand about Takeover all season too is that every time he would give up a big play, and then push the guy out of bounds, he would then woof at him.
Well, there was the play against ASU where he let up like a 40-yard pass, but he hit the guy out of bounds, and then he started talking trash, and we're like,
dude.
No, dude, you set up a 40-yard pass.
Yes, that's I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say about that. So we will see. In the secondary, it's hard because you had the injuries and whatnot. Obviously, Genesis Smith's good. That'll be interesting to see if they can retain him or not because he's probably an NFL player. Owen Goss was not good. I got somebody that maybe developed a little bit. Latrell.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Right. Yeah. Sure. All right, I'll take that. Now it is funny with Latrell. The thing with Latrell, maybe and part of being a DB is being in the right spot at the right time. But Latrell had to have had, what did he have this year? 3 picks.
I think he led the team in picks.
Yes, and every single one was thrown right to him, like right to him. Yes, it was. I don't blame him at all for that. That's a good thing. So that's kind of where we are. That's kind of where we're at with that. Now let's talk about the strength and conditioning staff. I get that. I haven't really heard much good about the strength and conditioning staff, at least from parents, but I'm not there as well. I mean, maybe there's a reason. I don't know. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before. I don't know enough about the whole strength and conditioning thing. I just know that they didn't look any stronger or faster or healthier than last year.
Well, and we've had multiple parents who are not crap talkers, for lack of a better term, say that it was a much different program this year. It was far more plyometrics based, whereas TO was all about heavy lifting. We've had multiple people that I trust say that, and I think you would probably trust that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. So there is that. Now we're going to talk in a second about what success looks like, but first, Saturday Neon, my friend. Saturday Neon. Jason L. Shear. Saturday Neon. You know that A that I have behind me that was backed in the that is actually being backed in the my living room. Saturday Neon.
Yeah, you always back the A.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's literally at my back. The great thing about Saturday Neon, too, is that it was like me and Sheer. It was just two local kids made good, although you're not from here. And with Saturday Neon, too, Sheer, you would look really good. You're not from here. Nice try.
I'm from the
But
streets. You don't know.
yeah, no, you are. Saturday Neon. Use code PHNX for 10% off your order at Saturday Neon. Started by two college friends. Saturday Neon makes officially licensed college LED neon signs perfect for your home, office, dorm room, fan cave, or bar. Check it out. Also, look at what Sheer is drinking right there. Could that be a NUTRL?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's the only way to get through the show with you.
What? Yes.
People think it's coffee. It's not. I just drink neutrals.
Yes, exactly. And we think that Kevin, and guess where NUTRL is from?
The Lou.
What's that? The Lou, St. Louis, the Archway City, correct?
Archway
All right, the Archway City. Either way, check it out. NUTRL again. That's what the cool kids are drinking. Anheuser-Busch, my friend, St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis, Missouri. Check it out. The great thing about it too is that you can get all kinds of good stuff there. Check it out. Keep it tasty, Tucson. NUTRL. Very, very good stuff. Okay, now, Sheer, what is success next year for Arizona football? You asked me this. I've been thinking about it pretty much all because every now and then you make a good point. What is success next year for Arizona football?
One more win, right? Look better, more competitive than they were this season. It's hard. They're not going to win 6 games next year. If they do, I will come on this show and apologize.
Oh, I will too. But is it if you win 4 games, but I at least understand what you're trying to do?
Is that improvement?
Well, I didn't know what they were trying to do this year.
Desiree said it to the Star that we are measured on wins and losses.
But you did. But you also, I got to ask about. I got to ask this. What does a fair chance mean?
That's another stupid quote. Why do Arizona admin and coaches have stupid quotes?
Dude, these are terrible. So you mean to tell me, look around the country and coaches that inherited new spots. How is that not a fair position that he was put into? You had a lot of really good players on the team. Sure, you needed to add some players, but that was actually a pretty nice situation you walked into.
My guess is when she said fair shot, she means multiple years to turn this thing around, even though he's the one that is the reason why this thing is not turned around. That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. That one, to me, you know what it is? It's kind of like blaming your lack of size and depth on the D-line when you're pushing guys out. But
right.
I don't get that one at all. To me, honestly, people know where I'm at on this. I would move on. And when somebody's like, oh, well, who would you get? Anybody. But I will say this. I guess success for me next year, and again, this is a very low bar. This is a limbo bar. I guess success for me would be I at least know what you want to do. I at least know what your identity is.
But that's the question. And I'm very curious how Desiree would answer that. What is success? Like,
yes.
if he wins 4 games next year, are you bringing him back for a 3rd game? If the
he had less talent. So don't I? Because I go.
So let's say they win 4 games next year, but the average deficit was 12 points instead of 25. Well, they're improved. So now we got to give them 1 year. But then what's the year after that? Like, what is improvement? Or is improvement a matter of we're improving the buyout? like you know what I mean?
I don't know. I saw that quote and I have no clue exactly what that means, and I don't think that I will probably ever understand.
I don't think she knows what that means either.
Yeah, but he deserves a fair chance. So I guess that success is a bowl game. Be honest, we won't be happy if they don't make one. AK, well, if that's your measurement of success, you got where we're at, right?
It should be the measurement of success.
I agree, but at the same time, if we're yeah, again, that will we'll see what we'll see what
I think
happens
most
there.
people would be happy with the bowl game next year.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, if you made a bowl game next year, that's absolute success. But my question is, are you? Where are we at then? If you are at, where are we at then? Where if let's say you don't make a bowl, but like you said, let's say you win 4 games, but you know what? The offense is more exciting. Looks like they have a plan, getting the ball out quickly. Noah's winging the ball all over the field. Is that success? Is being more entertaining success? You know what? That's what I'm going to say success is. Regardless of wins and losses, being more entertaining. The biggest problem for me is I have no sympathy for people that bore me. I was bored out of my mind this past season watching Arizona football. I cannot put up with that. Being bad and boring, that's why I always talk about Rich Rod. When we're bad, we're still fun. Sheer, no boring. That's where I'm at when it comes to success.
Yeah, I think that's a part of it. Because you got to put people in the seats, right? Like
Right.
success is it's wins, it's losses, it's product, it's attendance, it's competitiveness, it's recruiting. What happens if they win 4 games with a 60th ranked recruiting again?
Again,
Right? It's
yes.
I
Hey,
don't know.
by the way, Grant
don't know.
Winkler, the great Grant Winkler puts it very well. A 4-8 Rich Rod is way better than a 4-8 Brent Brennan. Yes.
Mike and I have always said, and we've been very consistent, if you're going to lose football games, lose them in a fun fashion, right? Like Texas Tech had a few losses this season where it was like 56-49.
Sign me up for all of that.
I can live with that. I can live with that. At least you're competitive. You're scoring touchdowns. It's the games where it's 49-7 and you got 130 yards, which just
Dennis Walsh, the great Dennis Walsh, I think just hit the ball out of the park. And Erika L. Day said this before as well. A coaching staff of furries.
Yes.
Interesting. All right. Now, let's get to a little bit before the lovely Erika L. Day comes in. Let's move over to Arizona basketball a little bit. Generally, we can move over to Arizona basketball and it'd be like, we get to talk about a top-ranked team. Not anymore, my friends, but we will talk about that. Sorry. Oh, the great Brad Rich. No, there is no. Why is there Twitter tension? I have no Twitter tension. Why is there Twitter tension? I don't know. I don't get it. All right. Elijah Arenas is reclassified to 2025. Sheer, there's now 3 guys in this class that you have to be able to. I'm of the opinion now that you have to get 2 of those 3 players.
Yeah.
I am of the.
You can't lay in birdies and Arenas. I just don't see how that's feasible.
Yes, but you have to get one of those 2.
Yeah.
And you have to get Koa Pete. I am at the point now, you've got 3 elite players. You have to get 2 of those players. If Elijah Arenas goes somewhere else, and again, I like Tommy Lloyd a great deal, but if Elijah Arenas goes somewhere else, I start to have very, very major concerns about high school level recruiting.
Yep. This is 100%. I know someone on the board goes, can we criticize Tommy if he loses Elijah? Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. And here's the other thing, too, is that if you're Gilbert Arenas, you're almost turning down, and I think he mentioned this point with Spears. This is a very, very good, it's a very good point that he made, though. He can make more money off NIL going to Arizona because of all the fans here that adore his father. He can't get that anywhere else. So,
yeah. Arizona, you said there's a connection with Murph and Gil and all. Absolutely. No doubt about it.
Yes, you have to be able to get him. There's absolutely no excuse.
I will warn people this isn't, nothing is happening imminently. This kid's going to drag it out. The reason he doesn't now, and I know this for a fact, is he wants to be a McDonald's All-American. That is a very big deal for him. And then in the spring, he's going to take visits and stuff. All
right. Well, like I said, we'll find out. Let's see here. We'll find out exactly how this does play out. No, we're not in the running for. Well, listen, Bryce James isn't good. I don't know how else to say that. Bryce James isn't good.
There's methods to people's madness. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, you want to get him, but
yes.
I'm just saying, yes. That's kind of where we were at. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit. We got a nice little graphic here. I'm going to continue to bring this. I'm going to continue to bring this point in about. Sure, this is still annoying me. I don't know why this is happening. I do not know why we were. I do not know why. Tucker DeVries. By the way, Tucker DeVries gives you the middle finger on mid-major difference makers. That is my big thing that I want to see the rest of this out of conference season. I want to see Arizona actually try to defend guys that can shoot the basketball. DeVries to me is the perfect example of that. In Oklahoma, that was the perfect example of that as well. Do not give guys 5 wide open threes. Sheer, what say you?
Yeah, I mean, the 3-point defense is an issue. I'd like to, I think we're talking to Tommy this week. I'd assume I'm going to ask him, because it's clearly an issue. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat it. It's a big issue as well, and it's costing Arizona games.
Right, yes. Now, Tucker DeVries. I'm just saying that Tucker DeVries lit up Arizona, and he was a mid-major guy, Sheer. This is true.
Yeah. I mean, it's he's good, but here's the issue I have. When you know that there's one guy that could kill you from 3, don't let that one guy kill you from 3.
And they just kept letting him shoot it. That's the problem. And like we talked about before, if you let some guy get going, when you let that white guy get going and he's somewhat limited and he starts stepping into shots, that's a problem at that point. Boom.
Yeah.
Coach Mike Luke. Oh, I'd be such a good coach. Do you think I'd be a better coach or a GM?
I don't think you'd be a good GM, because you would just take all local kids.
Tucson would be, dude, the Tucson market would be flooded, man.
Yeah.
I'd be looking, yes, exactly. I definitely believe Arizona's a tournament team. To ask the great Dennis Walsh. Okay, now, let's bring in the lovely Erika L. Day, sideline reporter Erika L. Day. Hello, Erika L. Day.
Good morning.
Oh, Erika, I got to give Erika a lot of credit on something. A lot of credit. I did not see one vape in the background. Not one.
Then you weren't watching.
I didn't see it. Maybe you did a good job. Maybe you did a good job of this.
She's in the Zins now.
Ew, that's fucking gross. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait. What?
It's gross.
You can't say that.
Okay, well, I retract the statement, but they're still gross.
All right. Well,
I do have a football related question though. Can I please ask the question?
Sure.
You guys are saying we're not going to get 6 wins next year. Okay. And if we do get 6 wins, that will be unexpected territory that we are in. So when can we expect to get 6 wins? In 2 years? In 3 years? In 5 years?
I think that's got to be the plan, is it not?
Yeah. 6 wins, 2 years. 2 more years.
Yes, 2 more years. So I think that's got to be. Yes. How many neutrals has Erika drank today already? Yes, interesting. That to me is the issue. Though, is that I don't think you're going to get 6 wins. I don't think there's any way you're going to get 6 wins next season. If you get 6 wins, then I'll say that you're right. But at the same time, I don't know that you're going to get 6 wins. So you almost have to give him 2 years, and that's where I still don't know what a fair chance means, and that's what I keep coming into.
Yeah, I just was thinking with you guys talking about it. You guys are talking about it as if we're not going to have 6 wins for another 5 years. And I mean, that's a failure in my opinion.
Yeah, if you don't have 6 wins in the next 5 years, we totally agree that is a failure. This is true, Sheer.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, generally, if you lose to maybe the best player in school history, if you lose a first-round pick, other guys, generally you don't get better. Yes, that I don't know. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say.
I'm sorry, June. June, I didn't mean to offend you with my verbiage there. I'm really sorry.
Yeah. All right. Now let's talk a little bit about. Let's get back to Arizona basketball on here. Let's get back to a little bit of Arizona basketball. I believe they're a tournament team, but there's some real questions. And I was talking with Mielbach about this. We're both big Tommy guys, but there's some real questions at this point. I didn't really have necessarily the severe questions that many people had before, because again, 2 Sweet 16s. Again, I get you wish you had gone farther, but considering what he had done in his first 3 years, I didn't really have any problem. But I do. This year though is. This year to me is more of a concern. This year to me is obvious. This is my first time I'm seeing real concerns, because it doesn't feel like there's a strategy. And on top of that, it also feels that not only is there not a strategy, it also feels like the strategy is to not defend the 3-point line. I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah, I just don't think this team's very good. I think that's what it comes down to. I just don't I don't think a lot of these issues are fixable. I don't believe you could turn an average defender into a good defender in the middle of the season. I just don't. Now, is it a tournament team? Yes. If not, that is a severe problem. Is it going to win the
Yes.
Big 12? Absolutely not.
Not.
Yeah. Now, but to me, there's still things like they could have beat. Well, I guess still my problem is that there is just no urgency with this team. And that's what I just keep coming back to, is that there is absolutely no urgency with this team. Is that whenever Arizona gets back into a game, whenever Arizona gets into a game, they just decide we're just going to let threes. And it happened against Oklahoma. It happened against West Virginia. At some point, you've got to be able to figure that one out. Also, I'm going to stick up for Caleb Love on something here. Caleb Love, again, I know that people beat him up a lot. I get all of that. Caleb Love that made that shot to go into overtime. Nobody else on the team wants to take that shot. Caleb Love is taking that shot. That is why I will always give Caleb Love. I almost said Taylor Love. Taylor Love sounds like a pop singer. I will also give Caleb, but I'll always give Caleb Love the benefit of the doubt because he at least wants that.
Well, and even if he misses the shot, I still want him to take the shot. There's no one else on the team that I would prefer to take the shot over Caleb.
Right. Yeah, sure. Let's say you.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had a problem. And you're going to have bad shots, but they need Caleb. I think it's very well established. So, like, when Caleb goes 9 of 20 and he's playing well out to the West Virginia, and then people are blaming Caleb.
Yeah, I don't get why people, he's just become kind of
Scapegoat. For all the fans to blame. And it's actually really sad because, again, like you just said, we're not in that overtime without Caleb Love. And
right.
I think that people have got to remember, whether he makes the shots or not, we don't want anyone else taking the shots.
Yes. Now, T-Burns 826, very, very good point. The biggest concern is we're 0-4 against Power 5 opponents, and we can only have UCLA that fits the criteria. I'm not sure how we correct the defense against Imperial. You know what? I actually think that we need to beat up on Cupcakes right now. I think they need to figure out something. I think they need to figure out an identity. I think they need an identity. I think they need to be able to. I'm okay with this, and I have a bold take. Arizona's going undefeated the rest out of conference. Boom, said it right here. What say you guys? I think I'm right.
I buy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Why not Arizona? I mean,
right.
the only one that they would lose would be not SMU. Sanford hasn't been that good this year, and they lost. I mean, they're well coached, but UCLA will be the big one.
Yeah. Oh, Grant Winkler says, excuse me, about Pehoff. Great point by Pehoff. He says, we lose by less if Caleb Love doesn't make that shot to send us into overtime. Maybe you don't want to go. And yes, Arizona definitely misses Umar Ballo, leader of men. I was wrong on this one. I did not think that Arizona would miss him as much as they. Now, listen, some of their problems would not be corrected by Umar Ballo, leader of men. But at the same time, though, he's able to get rebounds. We give up way too many dumb offensive rebounds by guys just standing there. Umar Ballo would not have allowed that. Umar Ballo finishes around the basket. Umar Ballo was a bigger loss than I think we thought.
Yeah. I mean, defensively, I don't know how much he would have impacted this team. Offensively, I think the rebounding to me is the most disappointing factor. Right. They should be. I mean, they got killed against Oklahoma, against Duke, against West Virginia. They should out rebounded all those teams, and they did it. They didn't even come close.
Right. Yeah. Erika Alday.
You guys like that comment from Ryan that says women's basketball is more interesting than the men this year? They play with heart, and both are sloppy.
No, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, we don't agree with it.
I definitely don't agree with that. I can't watch.
I can't watch.
I don't want to get in trouble. So I will disagree.
Yeah,
I will politely
don't get
disagree.
in trouble, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm in no mood today.
Yeah. All right. Now, before we sign off here, I will be back tomorrow, and then we're going to have we'll figure it out. But Sheer, where can they find you doing your work?
WildcatAuthority.com and the Wildcat Scoop podcast.
All right. Now, Erika Alday.
You can find me on Twitter at Erika Lee Day and sometimes tweeting from the PHNX Wildcats account. Be sure to be there or be square.
And you can follow me at Merely Iron Mike Luke. Also, Kevin L. Thomas behind the scenes. Very, very much appreciate Kevin L. Thomas. All right. Now, we will, yes, Pehoff. Yes, you're right. We will be back with you tomorrow, though. Same time, same channel. Very much appreciate you all. You guys are the ones that make this chat. Let's keep doing this. Wop. You've been listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.